Hello, I'm Rex Lita with the news. Thanks for joining us. In this edition, Rosso applauds city residents for keeping the peace, proposed Kono's electorate before NEC, and PM's 13 fixtures set for October 12th. Late provincial member for Morobe, Luther Wenge, will lie in state at the Grand Hall of the National Parliament House on Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. This solemn event will gather the public, colleagues and dignitaries to pay their respects to the late member and honor his contributions to the community and the nation. Arrangements for the lie-in state reflects the significance of his service and the impact he had during his tenure as a political leader of Morobe and PNG. The provincial member passed on September 13, 2025 at the Port Moresby General Hospital. Further details on his memorial service or commemoration may follow in the days leading up to the event. Member for Ley and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso is encouraging his people to keep doing the right thing. The communities in Ley have been applauded for working together to ensure the city is safe, especially during the Morobe show and independence celebrations.
Ley City was a hive of activities leading up to PNG's commemoration of its 50th independence anniversary on September 16th. The celebratory activity lineup started with a show-off strength parade by over 80 personnel from the joint forces on Friday, September 12th. The 62nd Morobe show then started on Saturday, September 13th and ended on Sunday, September 14th, attracting thousands of showgoers, including international visitors, especially from Cairns in Australia. A Ley City float was then hosted the next day, where business houses in their unique floats paraded within and outside the city limits. The main independence program was hosted on Tuesday, September 16th at the newly upgraded Sir Ignatius Kilage Stadium. Joint Forces Parade, fireworks, skydivers and concerts were the main highlights, with Member for Ley and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso expressing satisfaction and pride that his electorate celebrated safely and peacefully.
There's a lot of challenges, but me can talk say me look him, all people blow me look lo Ley so, me look in the last couple of years, me look him lo, hasta lo independence, me look all big plus smile blow na belly see na no got trouble na honest, mix you one blood, big blood belly see strength. Me to thank you lo you blood. Continue doing the right thing. If you see a woman getting harassed, stop na paite islaman. Suppose you look at man trauma rabies to kay long no trauma rabies. All man sa adog lo clean him. You look at man go na sped boy na trauma go na nubla kolta ito hey pasi mouse mo go sped lo rabies bin straight. Little things count, and those little things make a great people, makes a great country.
Rosso acknowledged the efforts of the city residents who align with his slogan for a better Ley and urged everyone to continue supporting him as they work towards advancing PNG's industrial hub. Kamila Guare, TVWAN News, Ley.
Students from Morobe province attending the University of Goroka have joined the wider Morobe community in mourning the loss of late provincial member Luther Wenge. Wenge's death is widely regarded as a profound loss for the people of Morobe and the nation. He was labeled a champion of education in the province. Yesterday afternoon, the Morobe Students Association at University of Goroka rubbed mud over their bodies as a sign of mourning. Governor Wenge passed on September 13th, just 3 days shy of the country's 50th independence anniversary. He was one of Papua New Guinea's most vocal leaders on the floor of Parliament. Committing criminal offences is not the way to live. not after 50 years of independence, says Commissioner of Police David Manning. Manning said this when responding to an illegal protest conducted by a community in Nipa, Southern Highlands Province, following the suspension of Kumul Petroleum Holdings Managing Director Wapu Song.
Police Commissioner David Manning described the illegal protest staged by the community in Nipa as unlawful. Manning said the country just celebrated 50 years of independence. Committing criminal offences is not the way to resolve issues.
It's not the way we want to live the next 50 years of our independence. At some point, we are going to have to realize that in order to live in a just and safe and secure society, all of us need to be law-abiding citizens. There's no secret formula to it.
Manning said there are avenues to seek justice. Taking matters into our own hands will not solve a problem.
The disrespectful manner in which what has happened in an obviously unlawful act in Nipa.
He warned communities, especially in the Highlands region, that the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary will use excessive force if citizens do not abide by the country's laws.
This country has claimed independence or statehood maturity. Surely our professionals in this country, both Papua New Guinean and expatriates, who work for our people, should exercise and demonstrate that maturity and professionalism as well.
Meanwhile, the deployment of mobile squad units and members of the PNGDF to Nipa has prevented the illegal protests from further escalating.
Penalty submissions for Jacob Yafai, who was convicted for misappropriation, is set for Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. Yafai was found guilty and convicted on 5 misappropriation charges in August. It was then the Chief Justice Segib Salika set September 9th for penalty submissions. However, this has been deferred to the end of this month to give time to the probation services to prepare Yafai's pre-sentence report. A pre-sentence report is prepared by a probation officer after the court finds a person guilty. The judge or magistrate may request more information on the offender before deciding on the sentence. This is called a pre-sentence report. After the break, this is TVWAN News. We'll be back with more stories after the break.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, BSP's One-Took Wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at BSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Talks, to our family, to the ones we love. BSP's One-Took Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
Hiya, Mama.
You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, na mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, PNG and Mia. Buying PNG made.
We've been traveling along this road together for over 50 years. Ella Motors acknowledges the visionaries and hard work that have been the driving strength to continued nation building. We live, prosper, sustainably grow with the community, whilst developing quality mobility chains, aspiring to be your first choice on every occasion. Ella Motors, celebrating with Papua New Guinea throughout our independence golden jubilee.
Pepsi bottle. Tell him shorty come get it. Come grind on me, but met it. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring the groove down. Pepsi with the fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna
Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever.
Yes!
From small dreams to big possibilities, the Optus jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
Cold Power Citrus Blast uses stain-fighting active particles to remove dirt, grease and stains from your family's washing with less scrubbing and rubbing, reducing wear and tear and saving you time. Cold Power Citrus Blast has an amazing citrus fragrance that gives that extra freshness that will last all day long.
Toby Sexton dropped.
That this doesn't pull apart their greatest strength.
This is the future. This is the way they want to go.
Why was Harry Grant the right man to take over?
I just thought it was the right thing to do. Obviously, his best position we think is fullback.
Queensland have done the unthinkable.
It was unbelievable emotion. And good on Cameron, very, very brave to get out there and play.
Welcome back. The 34th Annual Senior Education Officers Conference is currently underway in Poponeta, Northern Province. Over 100 senior education officers and representatives from government agencies, churches and development partners are in attendance. This year's theme is Accessible Quality Education Pathways for All. It is derived from Focus Area 6 of the National Education Plan 2020-2029, Education Pathways. The week-long conference began yesterday, Monday, September 22. In focus is technical and vocational teacher education and strategies, flexible open distance education, the status of inclusive and special education, and teacher training programs. Education Secretary Dr. Uke Combras said that programs like vocational education and training, FOD, and the work of the National Literacy and Awareness Secretary are all crucial pathways for learners. Chairman of the WK Kidi Goodpela Sindown Peace Foundation, Mark Wani, urged people to recognize the true peace that comes from Jesus Christ. He, on Monday, September 22nd, the 10th anniversary of the World Peace celebrations.
A variety of traditional singing and dances were the highlights of this day. By displaying such joyous activities, a message of an ideal, peaceful Melanesian community was being portrayed. That is, when there is peace in the community, people rejoice. Wat Kidi, the founder of WK Kidi PNG Peace and Goodpela Sindown Foundation, highlighted the need for peace in the country.
The country is talking about peace, and the country is talking about prosperity. And the country is talking about PNG not being a poor country, but it's going to be the richest black nation in the world. Everybody, you guys heard about this. How are you going to make Papua New Guinea the richest black nation in the world? So my message is peace before prosperity.
He explained that prosperity is when people have a lot of material things, but peace is when people live in harmony, loving each other, tolerating each other's weaknesses.
Prosperity is money kago organization. Peace is mimi belisi, stapisi, sidanisi, amamas, liking each other, losing simdong, narabla, stop one time, na losing wrong narabla, and stop easy. Man who's not walking is like ground, and save, and by giving blessing to you, the one good finding. You stop easy. So peace before prosperity.
He expressed that PNG may have lost 2 generations of students in education because of conflicts erupting in communities and disrupting normal education programs every year.
So this foundation was established to shout, at least make a small sound, at least call upon somebody, at least say a few words, at least sing out loud some of the line of the gospel. We are here, we think peace is the way, guys.
Kidi called on the government, churches, and unions to work together for peace to achieve the country's ambition to become the richest Black Christian nation on earth. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
The long-awaited push for the creation of the Corners Open seat in Central New Ireland local level government of Namatanai District is before the National Executive Council for review. Namatanai MP and provincial member Walter Snowbelt announced that at a recent gathering in Corners where excitement is building among the people.
Provincial member for New Ireland and Namatanai MP Walter Snowbelt has commended the Provincial Boundaries Committee for successfully delivering the proposal on the Corners electorate. Snowbelt confirmed that the NEC submission has been completed and is undergoing a vetting process before it is tabled for deliberation. He assured the people of New Ireland that in his capacity as their leader, he will ensure Corners Open becomes a reality. While optimistic, Snowbelt also reminded the people that the matter must follow proper legal and constitutional processes, which takes time. He called for patience and unity as the review progresses. The proposed electorate would encompass Ramat to Bol on the east coast, Nayama to Kokola on the west coast, and the Tabar Islands within the Central New Ireland LLZ. It would include the proposed Central East, Central West, and Tabar Group of Islands LLZs. Snowbelt says Corners is established with its own administration and council and boasts existing facilities ready to serve as a new electorate. He said the Central New Ireland Rural LLZ with its headquarters in Corners is the largest in Namatanai District, comprising 22 wards and an estimated population of 45,000, a strong and deserving candidate for parliamentary representation. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
The Bolumiski Highway, a transportation route in New Ireland province that starts at Kavian Courthouse Junction and terminates at Porpop in Matalai LLG of Namatanai District, will be extended. The national government, through the Department of Works and Highways, has declared provincial road links to undergo rehabilitation to support this road transition.
Provincial member for New Ireland Walter Snowbelt recently revealed this while witnessing the launching of the road maintenance and upgrade of Porpop to Muliama at Porpop Village on the eve of the country's 50th anniversary celebrations. He revealed that from Porpop linking Muliama, Metlik, Mimias, Semalu, Kite, Kamdaru, and Palabong back to Borokalai on the southwest coast of Namatanai will be a national road. Snowbelt said that the New Ireland provincial government will partner with the national government to co-fund the maintenance and upgrade of the road. He thanked the provincial works manager Colin Dixon, Minister for Works and Highways Solan Murisin, and Secretary Gibson Olemba for their support in granting the national road status. Snowbelt further called on provincial works to organize engineers and technical service personnel to conduct a proper engineering survey to ascertain the amount of work to be done and the cost involved to build the ring road. Local contractor Mumusu Holdings Limited is currently on site carrying out road maintenance and upgrade on Porpop to Muliama Road. Plans are underway to have other local contractors placed on the west coast of Konoagil LLC to link up with the east. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
In finance news, the kina closed lower at 0.2391 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying 0.231 US dollars, 0.3481 Australian dollars, 0.1881 euro and 33.87 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee and palm oil closed higher. Cocoa, crude oil and copper closed lower, while copra closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TVWAN News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's One Talk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's One Talk Wallet. PSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG e Mia. Pine PNG made.
Life is about making memories, sharing new adventures. Go beyond the familiar. Don't let bacteria hold you back from experiencing the world. Protex uses natural antibacterial protection with flaxseed oil and eliminates 99.9% of bacteria. Free yourself. Go beyond with Protex.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
100% proudly PNG-owned Tassian Group would like to wish you and your loved ones a beautiful Golden Jubilee 50th Independence. Thank you for being a valued part of our community. Let's continue the journey for another 50 years together. Proudly PNG.
Long year 2024, 7 baby I born one time HIV. HIV ikin go long baby long triple rot. Time bel mama ikat HIV, long time long carrying baby, na time baby is susu. Tasol yumi can help him bel mama, long lookout him baby inside long bell. Go quick time long bell mama clinic, na kisim antenatal check. Time yumi pan him sick HIV area, o time bell mama I positive penis, early treatment I can save him baby. Give him baby healthy start long life. Stop him spread long sick HIV ego long baby. This lutok sawa ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Blindside and is celebrating a try.
Thanks for staying with us. PNG artists dominate finalists Papua New Guinea's music in resonating across the Pacific, with 5 of the country's artists named finalists in ABC Radio Australia's Pacific Break 2025. The annual competition, which spotlights original and unsigned talent, from across the region has shortlisted 10 finalists, and half of them are from Papua New Guinea. The homegrown artists include Darkside, Jay Sint, Kazabuda, Mariani Masani, and Relinda. They stood out among hundreds of entries from 18 Pacific nations. Other finalists come from Solomon Islands, Fiji, Samoa, and Vanuatu. The winner will perform at Australia's Womadelaide Festival, with the announcement set for October 16th on ABC's Nasia Daily. For PNG's finalists, the recognition is not just about music. It's a chance to inspire a new wave of Pacific creativity and connect with global audiences. The Australian Communications and Media Authority has begun investigating Optus over an outage which left people unable to call 000. 600 emergency calls were impacted by the 13-hour outage in New South Wales, South Australia, Western Australia, and the Northern Territory, with multiple deaths being linked to the disruption.
The issue of this network outage affecting so many people trying to contact 000 and not being able to get through has raised again integrity questions about the system. This is the second time this has happened with Optus in just a couple of years, and it's also happened recently, although for a much smaller period of time, with Telstra. And she said because of that, she was considering sweeping changes and whether they were necessary, including whether 000 could be trusted in the hands of private companies. So let's have a listen to what Annika Wells had to say.
I think that is a question that we need to consider as part of this investigation because, as Narita has said this morning, this is the second significant and egregious failure on the part of Optus, but also other telecommunications providers have had 000 outages as well. This isn't entirely a matter for Optus, so we are now considering what needs to be done holistically or as part of legislative relief for Australian people, given their confidence has no doubt been shaken by what has happened here.
Standing alongside her at that press conference was the head of the regulator, Narita O'Loughlin, and she was saying that its probe into what happened with Optus and its failures here will look at two elements mainly: whether it had invested enough in its network systems to prevent something like this happening, but also, when something does go wrong, whether Optus had the processes in place to alert it to the fact that things were going badly wrong, because Optus has already said publicly that it didn't know for some time what was happening with the outage and how 000 was affected. So let's have a listen to Narita O'Loughlin.
I think that's what we'll be looking through the investigation, whether there's been significant investment, enough investment in the network to make sure it's reliable and accessible for emergency call services, but also whether there are systems and processes in place to alert Optus to when things are going wrong, because we're seeing this big gap between when the outage actually occurred and when people were notified.
Well, the government says that 12 of the recommendations have been implemented and 6 they're working on essentially. One of those recommendations was for something called a 000 custodian, which essentially would mean that there's independent oversight of that system to make sure it's working. And the minister said today that she's been working over the weekend to work out how that can be fast-tracked, because while her department has established that, it's not in fact fully up and running, and the legislation and other things around it that needs to be in place for it to be fully in place, that doesn't exist yet. So she said she's looking at how that can be fast-tracked and how other recommendations around the public and government being notified of these outages could be sped up.
Earlier this month, Guam became the first U.S. territory to legalize firearm suppressors. Lawmakers on the island voted unanimously to legislate the muzzle devices, which are used to reduce the sound of gunfire. Mike Temorowski, a local gun store owner, said, "You can still hear the gunfire, but it's quieter than an actual firearm." A bill had originally been passed in June to legalize gun suppressors, but Governor Lou Leon Guerrero vetoed it, saying in the wrong hands it would endanger lives. Joseph Taitano, a journalist from the Guam Daily Post, said Senator Will Parkinson had introduced another bill to lift the ban, but the same governor vetoed it again over security concerns. Taitano said there were enough senators this time around to overcome the veto, and so it became law. Dementia has recently been identified as Australia's biggest killer. Now, a new study has found vigorous exercise can reduce your risk of developing dementia later in life. For the first time, scientists have linked exercise with a particular protein in the blood associated with brain death.
Colleen Davidson runs, swims and does weight training. The 53-year-old knows physical activity is one of the ways to reduce her risk of developing dementia.
I'm working towards getting where I need to be, and I think that's positive, just taking one step at a time, trying to make those positive changes.
Have you got a preferred arm?
She's part of a study where scientists have, for the first time, been able to work out the impact exercise is having on the levels of a particular protein in the blood, known as GFAP.
Which is linked probably with the level of inflammation in your brain, so a good marker for your general brain health.
The more vigorous the exercise, like swimming and running, the bigger the reduction in the damaging protein.
This finding is really significant because it shows for the first time how a blood-based biomarker that's indicative of dementia risk is associated with a really key and accessible modifiable risk factor.
But the association is less for people who have the ApoE4 gene, like actor Chris Hemsworth, the strongest genetic risk factor for dementia.
You shouldn't look at genes as determining your fate. Genes should be like, I've got this gene, and now I'm going to go look at what are the best risk factors for me to address so I can reduce my risk of dementia over time.
This study adds to growing evidence that almost half dementia cases could be prevented by addressing lifestyle factors like sleep, social engagement and physical activity. With dementia now the leading cause of death in Australia, a focus on prevention will be key to reducing the burden of the disease.
Hong Kong rushed to prepare for the arrival of Super Typhoon Ragasa on Tuesday, with officials warning of a serious threat comparable to some of the most destructive storms in the city's recent history. Ragasa was generating winds with maximum sustained speeds of 220 kilometers per hour at its center as it churned across the South China Sea early on Tuesday. According to Hong Kong's weather service, across the city, residents started stockpiling daily necessities. Qantas has suspended all flights to Hong Kong for 36 hours as the Asian financial hub prepares for Typhoon Ragasa, one of its strongest super typhoons in years. Hong Kong said its airport would remain open, but operations would be scaled down. And that ends the news segment. Sport is next. Don't go away.
Start your day by doing the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate. Wake up. Brush your teeth. And smile. Smile throughout your day with Colgate.
Mr. Russell, may mas isimsig niya sa bumili.
You survey yourself, you can put one per complaint.
I'm not giving big lahat. Online ba ito? Na, also yun ang suppose, miyon kata sorry kisineri.
You think him go troll Sam? You like putting this plus sexual harassment report on Mr. Russell?
Who said you making this black complaint?
Joining BCFW now member blong me plan na up strong against in workplace harassment.
Enjoying life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, a scale race, family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles cause it's our favorite for minds. Sandy sick, all scare rice, don't scare, scare price. Sandy sick, all scare rice, don't scare, scare price. Amber, you like it?
They're taking car builds and drag racing to whole new heights.
You see those jumps? You see the bouncing?
It's like a car guy's dream. Dude, this is going to be amazing. Roadkill, Mondays 8:30 on Turbo.
Drunk, macho. I used to be a lot of things, but I'm not now.
My son, he's in trouble. I want to get him out of Mexico.
Just you? Just me. Hey, Rafa, you can come out now. Touch me and I'll kick your ass on that. People trying to be macho show that they got grit. That's about all they end up with. This macho thing is overrated.
Cry Macho. Premieres Saturday 9 p.m. on Warner TV.
In sports, the annual Prime Minister's 13 Rugby League clash between PNG and Australia is on again this year, coinciding with our PNG's 50th year independence celebration. The matches are scheduled for Sunday, October 12th at the Santos National Football Stadium in Port Moresby.
The annual Prime Minister's 13 Rugby League clash between PNG and Australia will kick off at 9 a.m. with the Junior Orchids to take on the Australian schoolgirls. Then the Junior Kumals play the Australian schoolboys at 11 a.m. The PM's 13 women's then take the field at 1 p.m. with the highly anticipated PM's 13 men's clash at 3 p.m. to round out what is always an exciting day for players and spectators alike. Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League Chief Executive Officer Stanley Hontina said this annual clash is a great opportunity for players from both countries to impress their coaches for further national duties. Hontina said these games always provide a pathway for players from both countries, and the opportunity this provides for our juniors and the school children from Australia is quite significant, as many of them can get selected to the senior sides, to feeder clubs, and possibly the NRL and NRLW. All teams will be named next week in preparation for what will be another and trading day for fans in Port Moresby. The Prime Minister's 13 games started in 2005 with the men's, while the women's joined in 2027 and then the juniors in 2023. The PM's 13 weekend will kick off the end of the year international biggest sporting event, the Pacific Championships, starting on October 18 till November 1, 2025 at the Santos National Football Stadium. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
There were some thrilling matches at the Coles Oval over the weekend. In the main clash of the Money Plus Port Moresby AFL Senior Men's Competition, first place Lamana Dockers came up against second place Gerehu Magpies. The game came down to the last quarters as expected.
Lamana Dockers had a great start to the game and led in all three quarters, but ran out of gas, and the Magpies stepped up in the last quarter to outscore Dockers by 3 goals and a behind to finish victorious. Final scores: Magpies 6 goals, 7 behinds, 43. Dockers 6 goals, 4 behinds, 40. In the earlier game on Saturday, the never say die attitude from the Elavana Swans of Hula Village paid off with an upset win against the Gordons Kokofas. Kokofas put up some strong resistance in the third quarter, but it was not enough as the speed and entertaining footy by the Hula boys outscored Kokofas in the last quarter to win by 7 points. The Pepe Killer coach side is fast becoming the team to watch, and the Swans will certainly be a feared side next season. Final score: Swans 7 goals, 14 behinds, 52. Kokofas 7 goals, 3 behinds, 45. In Sunday's matches, highly fancied West Eagles made an easy meal out of South's Koboni team, thrashing them by 72 points. Final score: West 13 goals, 7 behinds, 85. Koboni 2 goals, 1 behind, 13. The Gereka Bombers won on forfeit against Sky Roos. In the A Reserve games, Dockers 7 goals, 7 behind, 55 beat Magpies 3 goals, 1 behind, 19. Newcomers Taikoni Hawks kept their finals hopes alive with 5 goals, 2 behinds, 32, defeating Gordon's Kokofas 4 goals, 5 behinds, 29. Another new side, the Sky Roos, 5 goals, 2 behinds, 32, defeating Bombers 2 goals, 1 behind, 13. And West 6 goal, 1 behind, 35, defeating Koboni 3 goals, 1 behind, 22. The upcoming weekend will be the last games before the Moneyplus POM AFL goes into the semi-finals on the 4th of October with the final top 5 playoff. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Burleigh Bears have qualified for the Host Plus Cup and BMD Premiership Grand Finals after an extraordinary weekend of rugby league across Queensland's Premier Male and Female competitions.
Last time they met.
In the Host Plus Cup, the Redcliffe Dolphins appeared to have the Burleigh Bears masher in Saturday's prelim final after leading 16-6 with 7 minutes remaining. In front of a parochial home crowd at UAA Park, the Bears refused to surrender as Credence Toya and Takitao Mapapalangi crossed for late tries to break the hearts of the Dolphins. George Rogers landed both conversions to steal a stunning 18-16 win for the Gold Coast club. Just 24 hours later, those scenes were replicated at Bishop Park, where a bumper Sunday afternoon crowd packed into the Nananda ground for the clash between the North Devils and Wynnum Manly Seagulls. This time it was the Devils who delivered the great escape, coming from 2 points down in the dying minutes to snatch an 18-16 win following Manasseh Kayo's diving heroics in the right corner. Remarkably, there was one final twist in the final seconds as Seagulls took a shot at a 2-point field goal, which very nearly resulted in a try to Wynnum's Selvin Kobo, who chased the bouncing ball into the in-goal area. North will now play Burleigh in next Saturday's grand final at Kayo Stadium, with Rowan Smith's Devils just 80 minutes away from a 4th premiership in 5 years. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
21 participants at the recent World Coaches Program under the PNG Football Association were certified coaches at the conclusion of the program. The World Coaches Program started on the 15th of September and ended on the 19th in Port Moresby. The World Coaches Program, an initiative pioneered by Royal Netherlands Football Association, was aimed at equipping local coaches to be role models to their players and fans both on and off the football pitch. The program was also expected to help the certified coaches use football and drive positive changes in their respective communities. President of PNG Football Association, John Capinato, was thrilled with the initiative and commended the participants for taking up the program. Capinato said the participants have received invaluable skills and training, which will greatly benefit the young people and communities across the country. He said the certification of the 21 world coaches marked an important step for PNG Football Association in strengthening grassroots football and using the sport as a platform of unity, development and opportunity. Now the weather forecast. In regional forecast, southern Port Moresby, mostly fine to partly cloudy periods. Daru, mostly fine to partly cloudy periods. Momase, Lay, cloudy periods with rain showers and isolated thunderstorms. Wewak, mostly cloudy periods with morning rain showers and thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Kavieng, mostly fine periods. Kokopo, Rabaul, partly cloudy periods. And Highlands, Mendi, Tari and Wabek, mostly cloudy periods with rain showers and isolated thunderstorms. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral Sea, sea slight to moderate with southeasterly winds of 10 to 20 knots. Solomon Sea, sea slight with northeast to southeasterly winds of 5 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea, sea smooth to slight with east to southeasterly winds of 5 to 10 knots. And Pacific Ocean, sea slight with variable winds of 5 to 10 knots. And coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Island to Kerema to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samarai Island. And waters of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel and Old Milne Bay Islands, seas 1 to 2 meters. Waters of Finsafen through Vitia Strait to CRC Long Island to Madang, and waters of West New Britain to Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 2 meters. And that ends the news tonight. Thanks for your company. Good night.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
Johnston with some room to move. Alex Johnston, he kicks it again. This should be a try. Alex Johnston did.
It's an unstoppable rush. Taking that extra mile, pushing beyond the limit, and making it happen. Fueling the passion for rugby and empowering the next generation. Feel the power.
Makin tapasi Arya.
Anti, bangka goksim. David Loran. You passed it. Spots. It's in me.
The One Talk jackpot is rolling over week on week. 650,000 kina. Get your tickets now. Draws every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Play now at 321lotto.com.pg or any of your 321 authorized retailer. 321. Win big every day.
Trace Urban is Trace's flagship TV, exclusively dedicated to the best urban music and artists. Trace Urban offers a unique mix of the most popular American, European, African, and Caribbean urban music genres. Trace Urban benefits from the power and musical expertise of Trace, which has endlessly promoted African music stars since 2003 on all its channels. Welcome to Trace Urban. We are urban music.
Get in, loser. I'm always good at what I do.
What are you hiding, Maxine?
I always wanted to be famous. This is the defining moment of your career.
Iris, wake up.
The days of you controlling me are over.
Don't look her in the eye!
You could be really hot if you change, like, everything.
Go knock him dead. Here we go. Let's move.
Okay.
This was intentional.
Never send boys to do a woman's job.
Sometimes over the years, New South Wales have been obsessed with size, and talent. 2001, series locked at 1-1. We need a halfback. The Queenslanders need a halfback. Where do we go to? Make a phone call to Alan Langer. And it's true. Where's all the Queenslanders here?
Oh my God, what was that?
Keep going.
Oh, it's worms.
Yeah!